under a couch, have somebody hold your feet, whatever works, and you're going to be kneeling, and you're going to lean as far forward as you can, and then come back up, okay? When you are on your knees and you lean forward, don't stick your butt out to come back up, okay? So if I'm leaning, I should lean and come back up, okay? It's the opposite of a quad lean. Okay, quad lean, when you go backwards, it's using your quads. When you go forward, you're using your hamstrings to sit back up. So if you're sticking your butt out when you go to sit back up, that's basically defeating the purpose, and it's not going to use your hamstrings, and we're going to need those. So please try your best not to stick your butt out. You don't have to go very far, just far enough to where you feel the burn and you can get back up, okay? Sitting straddle lifts. Those are the ones where you sit in a straddle and your hands are on one side and you just lift your foot up, okay? And then the other side. Try to lead with your ankle. When I say that, especially a lot of you when you do split jumps, you like to get your knee up high before you straighten it out. That's a deduction, obviously. So we want to try and get rid of that. We want to try and get you to lead with your ankles more. So when you drive your foot upwards in anything you do, or when you're just doing exercises like this, it's important that you squeeze your entire upper leg muscle, okay? And you want to try and think of getting that toe and that ankle up off the ground first, so the rest of the leg follows. And single leg hip bridges, you've done those before. I would prefer it if you did it on like a step or your stairs. Nothing too high, or a panel mat, or your air track, whatever works. Please be sure to try and squeeze your butt when you get to like the top of it. So when you push back up, try and squeeze your butt when it's at the very top, as high as you can go. Shin busters, you know what those are. Pillow squeezes, they're like pit block squeezes, but you don't have pit blocks, so you have pillows. When you squeeze in, I want you to try and hold it for 1 second before you unsqueeze. Okay, so hold for a second each time. Your legs should be straight, obviously up in the air in a pike. Yeah, so you'll do that whole thing for 40. Rest 30, rest 20, rest 10. Yeah, that is pretty simple today. Tomorrow gets a little more complicated, and it lets you kind of pick what you do almost, if that makes sense. I'm not going to tell you too much because it's a surprise. But yeah, if you guys could overstretch today, that'd be wonderful. Try and remember, I don't know if many of you are doing this. It's fine if not, not something we really force you to do when it comes to oversplits. But when you do your oversplits, try and do your back leg too. So have your the lower part of your shin on your mat or whatever you're using, and stretch your split that way, the same way. So arms forward, back, all that fun stuff. Just so we can get our back. So whenever you do overstretching at home, please try and remember to do your back leg up in your splits too, because most of the time your guys' front leg is fine, your mobility in your front leg is fine, but your back leg is a little less. That's why when we